middle. I milled all this wood so far. I made me a table for my planer, so it'll be this. But I'm building a solid butcher block outfeed table. I'm gonna build it 4x8, and I'm gonna glue up all my legs and all that. Build the whole thing out of 2x4, glue and wooden dowels. I gotta glue this up, and then I'm gonna really clamp it, and then put bar clamps down on it too. And then I'm making it in sections, because then I can rerun through the thickness planer and make them perfectly square. So it should be a pretty cool heavy duty table. What I'm fixing to do is I'm gonna move this out of my way for now. I don't want to clamp it super tight yet, because I'm fixing to come back and do the same thing on another one, but I'm gonna lay them up here on my sawhorses, and then I'm gonna clamp down on them so that it holds them good and flat, and then I'm gonna really tighten them up. Tried to glue all my legs up. This is gonna be my main beam going up. I should have spliced it down there. I'm just gonna have to notch it and do it by hand. Then I'm gonna cradle that in I got 3 of these. I think I'm gonna turn them this way versus cutting into it. Anyway, got it all glued up. This is gonna be my main cross member going up. I'm gonna clean out and right out the bottom of the table like this, so that it has that whole thing to sit on it, you know. Do all that. Got them 2 built. I wanted to get that so I'd dry it by tomorrow. Got them glued up. They'll be done tomorrow. And then I'll be ready to mill them down and glue all 4 of them together. So that's gonna be one heavy dude. Alright guys, what I'm doing is planing down. Like I said, I didn't run them all through the table saw to begin with. And now I'm taking back and knocking down the high spots on my best side of the butcher block and smoothing them out so I can run them through the thickness planer. Not so much worried about the bottom, but I will run them through the planer anyway. And I wanted to wait until I did all the sections at once. But I got my legs glued up in sections, and I'm gonna show the leg build, but just doing it a little bit at a time here. Showing you the process I'm doing. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. It's gonna be a heavy duty bench. Table saw to one to get a good flat side. And now I'm just where the table saw didn't go all the way through. And I'm just taking a hand plane, smoothing her out a little bit. I'm gonna smooth them all out so the joints go together well. Planed my joints and got my joints to where I want them. Squared up my ends and cut to length. Fixing to get ready to glue and clamp up. Monstrosity of a butcher block table. Clamped up my joints. What I did was let it rest. I got this piece of bar here and let it rest perfectly flat after it's been milled down. And then clamp the bottom so I could really clamp the top up real tight. And yes sir. Now we wait. Got it unclamped. Now I'm gonna go down with a little scraper, knock the high spots down, and a little small little plane. I'm gonna do all this before I sand it. I ain't gonna sand it until I actually have the top on the base, and then I'm gonna sand it real nice. Looking good, nice and flat. Alright guys, getting ready to start notching my legs. I'm gonna start doing the Mortise and tenon joint. This is a little bit, I'm gonna do it like this. Same this trick, what you'll do, use that as your straight edge. A little backstop like that. We'll notch them down and get them cleaned up. Once you've got your cut, find out your thickness where you want. You can cut into it that way if you want. So you can see where I had it glued up. Or you can just chip away at it.
There's nothing above where I have ever been. He said, I'll try with all my heart. God have mercy on me. He said, let me believe. And I took a hold of her hand then. There was a vibration for him that left her feet. And thread apart and stopped. I said, God bless you, sister. Your faith now has saved you. A few months later, I'm sitting in the chair.
Checking here to make sure that it's going to be square after you get your dowel set and everything, because you can still tweak a little bit if you need to. Track saw, get it cleaned out with a chisel, clean all that out, just glue it up. Also, I want to say another thing about building the bench the way I'm doing it. The way I've cut that tray in and glued the whole thing in to make it solid. One downfall that I don't know is being all glued up like that. I done it this way because I'm not gonna put no cross members in here. So I wanted to glue it so it would be good and solid. But really, ideally, you want to be able to leave it so it can swell and contract. But I didn't know how to do that and still make it good and solid. So there's no guarantee that it won't swell and buck on me. But it'd be a lot easier if you could just left that cradled in there with some cross members here, across here, however you'd want to do it. And then allow that to swell and contract a lot better. But it's a workbench. I want to do it all out of wood. If it don't work, I'll put some screws in it. It's pretty level, about a 4-foot level. But you have concrete that's not perfect, which is why I didn't put my blocks on beforehand. And the reason why I done this was to, if I ever take this stand off, you know, I can, where my saw jacks up and you have to get a new saw or whatever, just take the blocks out, change the blocks to set your table back to your height you need to be. But I wanted my table to be as level as I could be with the top of my platform. So I wanted to test it with a laser. If you don't have one, you can do it with a 4-foot level, 6-foot level, whatever you got. See, even off that, it's not perfect. I'm doing it like that and fixing to cut my blocks, get ready to sand it and do my router work. I'm gonna route, you know, chafe the edges of the top, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get my top sanded and ready, and then I'm gonna do a really cool American flag and badge it with my name. Bought some stencils and some stars, make it look cool, guys.